Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा वेलकम एवरीबॉडी थैंक यू फॉर joining. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 7, text number 54. 4754. Okay. त्रयाणामेकभावानां यो न पश्यति वै विधाम् यो न पश्यति वै विधाम् सर्वभूतात्मनं ब्रह्मन् सर्वभूतात्मनं ब्रह्मन् सशान्तिम् अधिगच्छति सशान्तिम् अधिगच्छति त्रयाणाम् एकभावानां यो न पश्यति वैभुविधाम् सर्वभूतात्मनं ब्रह्मन् शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति. त्रयाणामेकभावानां यो न पश्यति वैविधाम् सर्वभूतात्मनां ब्रह्मन् शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति. त्रयाणामेकभावानां यो न पश्यति वैविधाम् सर्वभूतात्मनं ब्रह्मन् शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति. त्रयाणामेकभावानां यो न पश्यति वैविधाम् सर्वभूतात्मनं ब्रह्मन् शान्तम् अधिगच्छति. What for meaning? Trayanam, of the three, Eka Bhavana, having one nature, Yah, who, Na Pashyati, does not see. Why? Certainly. Vidhanam, Vidham, separateness. Sarvabhuta Atmanam, of the supreme soul of all living entities. Brahman, okay. O Daksha, Sa, he, Shantim, peace, Adhigachati, realizes. Translation and purport by Sundari Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separated from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes a peace, others do not. I repeat the translation. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, and who knows Brahman actually realizes the peace, and others do not. Purport. The two words are very significant in this verse. Trayanam indicates three, namely Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. Vidham means different. There are three, they are three, and therefore they are separate. But at the same time, they are one. This is the philosophy of simultaneous oneness and difference, which is called Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. The example given in the Brahma Samhita is that milk and yogurt are simultaneously one and different. Both are milk, but yogurt has become changed. In order to achieve the real peace, one should see everything and every living entity, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, as including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, as different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is independent. Every one of us is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This accounts for unity in diversity. There are diverse manifestations, but at the same time, they are one in Vishnu. Everything is an expansion of Vishnu's energy. ओमज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाताम् सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं विनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you for joining. So, in today's words, it speaks about like now. Let me revisit the context in which this verse is spoken. So, Daksha, he tried to perform an sacrifice excluding Lord Shiva and Lord Shiva, but Mother Parvati want to convince Lord Daksha, like, or make a pact, or like, or uh, uh, she wanted to, she doesn't want her father to be offensive towards Lord Shiva, so she went to convince Daksha to to make him understand the position of Lord Shiva. But what happened? Uh, Daksha had offended Mother Parvati, for which she sacrificed herself. And this enraged Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva, when the offense is committed towards him, he tolerated it. He didn't even react when he was directly chastised. But when Daksha offended another devotee, who is Mother Sati, then he became very angry, and then he sent Virabhadra to punish Daksha. And Virabhadra destroyed the Daksha Yajna and then cut off the head of Daksha. And Narada Muni, after the incident, after everything is done, goes to Lord Shiva, and Brahmaji and all the demigods, they go to Lord Shiva and appease Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, being Vaishnava, he never took any offense. He says, I just want to teach them the lesson. That's why I made this. I gave this punishment to Daksha. And finally, when he revives every one of the persons, and whoever body parts are broken, he makes them, gives them adjustments, like no. So then, but except he revives everybody except Mother Sati. Okay, and after that, Lord Vishnu appeared on the scene, and all the devotees offered prayers to Lord Vishnu, and then Daksha also offered prayers, and then Lord Vishnu started speaking. And in this verse, Lord Vishnu is saying that you should not consider me, Brahma, and Shiva are any different. They are different. Like, what is the first offense? To consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to independence of names of Lord Vishnu, right? So they are different, but at the same time, they are not independent. So there are two things. One should not consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent also. So means they are in one sense they are same, but in another sense they are different. because there is Lord is called Asamotva. There is nobody equal to him or anybody higher than him. For example, when a cop, when a police officer, especially in India, if he comes and deals with you, and deals with anybody, if and like there is some physical struggle, and in that course, if somebody manhandles on the cop, it is directly as good as manhandling the government itself, because a cop is the authoritative person. Authority is he has like if a soldier is offended, means you are actually indirectly you are offending directly the king, because the cop is to enforce the law which is given by the king. So that's why manhandling or like dealing with the cops or dealing with the representative of the government in any manner is or insulting them or not obeying their orders is directly offending the government. So in the same way, uh, Lord Shiva, Brahma, and all the demigods, and here in this verse, Vishnu is saying all the living entities are independent of me. So it doesn't mean that everybody is Narayan. Means one should see the divinity in every living entity. One should have that. Yeah, they are not separate. Okay, the one should see the divinity in every living entity. Okay. So, but what is the but one should have the consciousness. One should have the knowledge about this thing. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita also there is a verse. Okay. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti richati. Means if somebody who can attain real peace. This is a peace formula in Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yajna tapasa means I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. One if uh, Krishna says a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me, the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all the planets and demigods, the benefactor of and well-wisher of all the living entities, attains the peace from the pangs of material miseries. Hmm? Why everybody is miserable? One thinks that I am the center. Everything has to go on my own accord. Everybody thinks that I have like I should be whatever, like no, for example, I am worshipping somebody, so he is the supreme person. There is nobody greater than him. Or I belong to this nation, that nation is the greatest. Or I belong to this caste, this creed, means they are great. Means basically, uh, if we see either directly or indirectly, what is happening is we are keeping ourselves in the center. Because I belong to this sect, this is ultimate. I belong to this is ultimate. This is the topmost. So if that is the nature, means we are keeping ourselves as the center, and we are trying to why we are keeping ourselves as a center. We wanted to enjoy, but Krishna is saying a person or even in the devotional circle also, when the service to the Guru and Krishna is kept as a center, then there is no issues. Everything will go nicely. But when somebody keeps their ego in the center, oh, I did not get respect. When I said something, they did not take it. That kind of attitude, this will create lot of conflicts, lot of disturbances in the even the spiritual circles also. So, but if one thinks, oh, whoever does the service, whoever gets the credit, but the service is happening so nicely, so that is all required because Krishna is the ultimate benefactor. Krishna is the ultimate well-wisher. Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer of the all the services. So as long as the service is nicely getting done, and whoever maybe get the credit, whoever is glorified, then that then if everybody has that kind of attitude, then everybody will the persons who are involved will have ultimate peace of mind. So otherwise, uh, there is always especially in this Kali Yuga, there is always some mishaps happening. You respect somebody, we unknowingly, knowingly offend someone else. So we do something right, something else will go wrong. So there is a chance, there is a good chance of making mistakes in this Kali Yuga. So, but if the people involved has this maturity that Krishna is the ultimate benefactor, Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, and we're all instruments, we're all here to serve the mode of dasanudasa, then that consciousness will please Krishna more. If you see the example of Prachetas, Prachetas did tapasya for so many years, and suddenly Lord Vishnu appeared them and said, I didn't appear because of your they actually they went underneath the lake and then he meditated in the underneath the water for so many years. So Prachetas, uh, when Lord Vishnu sees them, when Lord Vishnu sees Prachetas, Lord Vishnu says, I'm not I'm very much pleased with the nice cooperation among yourself. So, and also if you see in the Daksha Yajna, the sacrifice is not yet started, but still Lord appeared because nice cooperation between Daksha realized his mistake. He begged forgiveness with Lord Shiva and all the devotees, all the personalities involved. They are in a very repentant mood. Uh, they are begging forgiveness. They realize their mistake, and they did corrective measures, which please Lord Vishnu. So when we have to like Prabhu says right, His Holiness Rana Swamara also says collective unity is better than individual purity. In bhakti we should not aspire I should go very long. In bhakti we should aspire I should go together. I will chant 64 rounds daily and I will do this, I will do that myself. uh, like means when you aspire that means you are on yourself, but when you go with along other devotees, when you do services along with others, when you involve in a team, then that will actually please Krishna, that will also please our journey, devotional journey, more pleasing to ourselves. Why? Because traveling alone is always bore, like we get bored of easily. But when you travel together with so many people, we will have very nice time. Even the journey itself is a like a retreat. So one should have this understanding. And one more nice takeaway point in this verse is the service to devotees. So we should we should not neglect the service to devotees. Service to deities and service to devotees is non-different because Krishna says right more than I'm more pleased when you render service to my devotees than directly to me. Like Krishna says, he who says is my devotee is not my devotee, but he who says I'm devotee of Krishna's devotee is actually my devotee. Means one should identify oneself with I am not directly Krishna devotee. I am a devotee of my spiritual master. I am a devotee of my so and so Vaishnava or Vaishnavi. Then that way we become more dear to Krishna. There is a nice story, like uh, in uh, in Pandharpur, like there is a story like there is a devotee. Her name is Janabai. Okay, so like Janabai was from a village, so she lost her mother right in the very childhood, and when she was 8 years old, his father brings her to Pandharpur, and when they are in Pandharpur, his father also passed away due to some sickness. So she was left without mother and father. So at that point of time, She get the association of what is his name? Namdev. Namdev ashram. Okay, she actually uh, uh, when she was 8 years old, she loses both her parents. Now, Namdev, out of mercy, she actually brings her to his ashram. So when she was in the ashram of Namdev, she actually started doing services to devotees. And like see, when you lose your mother and father, you will be in a very lot of anxiety, right? But as soon as she started performing service to the devotees, all her anxieties are gone, and she experienced the taste in serving. So from that day onwards, she started doing services in the ashram, like serving all the devotees nicely. So especially she is very much concerned about doing personal service to Namdev. And every time, like no, Namdev is a very well-known devotee in the Pandipur. Like there are a lot of devotees who travel all the way from different places, and they come to Pandaripur. So, but one time, no, it's a regular affair, not one time actually. Every Ekadashi, devotees from all over the places come to the Namdev's ashram, and they stay there on Ekadashi. They do all night kirtan, and then they next day morning they regularly goes to their services, means whatever they regularly goes on with their business. Okay. So and this Janabai, she was like no, she was not recognized. She was like no, they say like just like a servant maid. Okay, she's serving all the devotees. What is the difference between a servant maid and devotee? Is devotee serves without any expectation. What is the most important factor of devotional service is ahetuki apratiyata, without any expectation, without any motivation, and without any interruption. Our service has to be in the with these two are the main factors which we have to render service without any motivation and without any interruption. You may take little bit service, even like a 5 minute service also. If you do the same service without any motivation, without any interruption, means regularly, it will lead to the perfection. So Janabai also, she was doing all the services, preparing the floors, preparing sweeping, mopping, washing clothes, all those things, that kind of services she was doing. And doing the services, she developed so much ecstatic symptoms. Like when she used to like what Namdev is well known for always chanting the name of Krishna. Because she is a servant of Namdev, she also started imitating him. Always Vittala, Vittala, Vittala. Whatever she is doing, she is glorifying, singing, taking the name of Krishna. And while while doing so, she started developing ecstatic symptoms. Unknowingly, her eyes used to like no flood with tears, no, and then suddenly during her service, she suddenly gets struck with ecstasy. She is not able to move. That kind of bhava stage she reaches, and uh, so like that. Her services are going on, or she has nothing in life. She has only she has is service to the devotee, service to Namdev. So and whenever she get chance, she used to go to Vittal temple, and then she used to see the Lord. And as soon as she see the Lord, she used to develop all kind of ecstatic symptoms in her. Hmm? But she considers all these ecstatic symptoms are disturbance to her service. So she is very careful to not to allow these ecstatic symptoms to hamper her services. Mm. So then like that she was carrying on. So one time what happens, the same when Ekadashi comes. So after Ekadashi, they do all night kirtan. So when the all night kirtan was going on, this Janabai, she used to stay away, in some corner and chant the holy name of Krishna. And she used to witness how the devotees are ecstatic. Some devotees are going to ecstasy. Like some devotees are just listening and then in a passive mode. Some devotees are like in a ecstatic mode. Some devotees are actively singing. So like that, she used to like every Ekadashi, the time just used to pass away like that. Means they start kirtan and the kirtan goes all night long. Immediately the sun rises, and everybody after sun rises, then they break the fasting and then they go to their regular services with their own business. So one time what happened on one Ekadashi, like it might happen in a regular manner. Janabai was in ecstatic mood and she was in like chanting, and then remembering the Lord. And she lost herself in these ecstatic symptoms, in ecstasy, and she didn't pay attention to the time. So the time has passed so much so that like her services, everything is impending. She has to wash clothes, she has to wash utensils, she has to clean the ashram. Everything is as it is. Hmm. So suddenly she realized that time is almost like midday, but she hasn't done anything. So she becomes very anxious because it will be disservice. It will hamper the devotees' service. Just like somebody doing backup, they've missed out doing backup. Suddenly Pujari comes. So Pujari will be, uh, Pujari gets delayed. Uh, So like in the same way, uh, Janabaya also, she thought that because of me everything will be done, everything will be ruined. She went so much anxious. So because in those days they have to, if you want to wash clothes or wash pots, they have to go to river, they have to fetch water in the in the pots and then bring water and then do the cleaning. So she's and she took all the clothes that needs to be washed to the river to wash, and then she so she was very tight on that time, and she was praying to Lord. But whatever may be the situation, she never stops chanting. So suddenly, what happens? One old woman comes there. Okay, hey, why are you so much anxious? And that Janabai says, no, I made a mistake. I lost. I went into like absent-minded, and I lost my track of my services. I'm very much tight with the time. I don't have enough time. I have this thing to do. I have to wash clothes. I have to wash utensils. I have to clean floor. I have to sweep and mop. All those things are there. Means like she has a list of services that she has to do. Then that old woman says, "Okay, don't worry. I'm very good at washing clothes. I will take care of washing all the clothes that you brought. So you go and do other services at the ashram." And he said, "I don't know you. I'm seeing for the first time. How can I trust you? No, but don't worry. I know you very well. So you just take care of your services. Go and do the services in the ashram, and I will take care of this washing clothes because washing clothes will take long time for you." Like that, she sends Janabai to ashram, and Janabai goes to ashram and does services there, and then finally gets finished up like as soon as possible, and she comes back to the place where the old man was washing clothes. So by the time Janabai comes, this old woman washed all the clothes very nicely, very clean, and then she dried up like in the sun. And Janabai came to her and then thanked her and said, Vittal only sent you. I'm very much grateful. Then said, no, why are you thanking so much? We are like together. No, like it is said, right? మనలో మనకి ఎందుకంటారు अपने में क्या है means I know you well, you know me well. What is there to thank? We should not thank to our own persons like that. She says, okay. So and then I'll talk. I will meet you later. Like that she says, and then she goes away. And as soon as she goes away, Janabai started folding the clothes because they're already dried up. And she suddenly remember, I didn't even ask her name. I didn't even ask where she is coming from. Let me go and ask. Means she's an old woman, and like she goes, turn around and sees she's nowhere to be found. So she runs in the streets and sees, but she's an old woman. She cannot run away, right? So then Jinabai gets confused. Who is that old woman? I was not able to find. I never saw her in here. But he says, I know her very well, like that. But she was okay, and she was a little bit, no, not feeling well. Okay. Then she takes all the clothes and goes to Namdev and narrates entire thing to Namdev. Namdev goes into meditation and says, oh Janabai, it is none other than your Krishna. Your Krishna came to help you, like that. Namdev says to Janabai. So Janabai, what is what is the reaction of Janabai is, oh, Krishna came to help me. Initially she became happy, but later on she became very upset. Why did Krishna has to come and disguise as an old woman? No, I didn't recognize because of that. He have come direct, like no, when she was not very happy because she didn't recognize Krishna. So then that thing passed away. Then next time what happened? Like no, she's becoming a little bit older. Okay, and sometimes during this lot of these devotees comes, right, there is a lot of trash, there is a lot of like in olden days they used to make for making what do you call that, bakri means the, right, rotte means like bajra chapati is made of bajra flour. Okay, they have to hand grind. Okay, all the devotees has to be fed these rotis. So she is the one who actually grinds the motor, like hand churning motor, to make it as a flour. So but so many devotees came, and she has to make so much of flour. So she was struggling. And she was chanting. Whatever she does with chanting. So suddenly Krishna comes in Vittal form, like as it is, no change, like with mukut and with all the ornaments, pitambara, vasra, and he comes and says, "Oh Janabai, I will come to help you." And she sees Krishna and says, she is very much focused on the service. Okay, okay, come. And then so both Krishna and Janabai started churning the that motor, and then Krishna used to go away to back to temple, and she used to serve devotees. And whenever she has very heavy service, for example, sometimes she sweeps the floor. She accumulates a lot of uh, dirt. In those days what they do, they put all the dirt in the basket and then carry the basket and dump outside, far away from the village. So she accumulated a lot of dust. And when she is about to carry, Krishna comes in his own original form. He says, "Oh Janabai, let me sweep." And then Krishna used to sweep and then put in the basket and then carry the dust on his head and then take and throw. So, so on regular basis, Krishna started assisting Janabai. And this is very natural for Janabai, like nothing new. It became like a routine thing for Janabai. So then days are passing away, passing like that. Then one time what happened, uh, there was some kind of disturbance in the this Pundarik temple, what you call Vittal temple. That now one of the very costly ornaments studded with very costly diamond is missing. And everybody is not thinking that Janavai, like no, everybody is suspects, like who is coming towards Vittal. So they were suspecting that Janava is the person. Okay, and finally in those days the rules are very strict, right? So when the issue was taken to the king, the king said, okay, somebody. stealing the Vittal's property, they are to be punished, give the capital punishment. Then the inquirer, they asked, did you take any jewel from the Vittalji? Why would I take jewel from Vittalji? I own Vittalji. I have Vittalji. Why would I take the Vittalji's ornament? Hmm? But they don't understand why she's saying like that. But they said, okay, rules are rules, but punishment has to be given. So the executioners take Janabai to for crucifixion, means like for hanging, or I don't know what kind of punishment crucifixion they do. So during like now, she's okay, okay. If it is Vittal's desire, I have to be crucified. Let it be. And she just started chanting the holy name of Krishna. So when she was constantly chanting, when she was taken to the crucifix, suddenly the crucifix started melting, and after some time, it totally disappeared only. And this shocked the soldiers. The soldiers came and reported to the king, and king uh, became fearful. Oh, she might be a great devotee, and they begged forgiveness and let her go. So means she actually became very popular also, but she never identified with herself with her fame or position or anything like that. She normally came back and started serving, doing the menial service in the ashram. So one time, what happens? Like Janabai, whatever she does, she always chant the holy name of Vittal, right? So she made some cowden cakes, like call in Telugu pidakalu. She put to the wall. Okay, there is another lady who does the same service, and they had a conflict. These are my things. These are my cowden cakes. These are your cowden cakes, like that. So other lady by mistake takes the cowden cakes of Janabai, and Janabai becomes very much upset and said she started quarreling. How can you take these cowden cakes? These are mine, like that. They are quarreling. So when Janabai was both Janabai and that other women were quarreling, uh, Kabir Das, like was like he's well-known devotee, right? He was passing by, and he's like no, it's a holy dham, right? Like Pandharpur is holy dham, and these two dham vasis are quarreling for cotton cakes, which is very insignificant, right? And and this Kavirdas like goes to the place where they're quarreling and asks the other people what is happening there, and other people says these two women are quarreling for the cowden cakes. Huh? And this is Janabai, about her pastime, like they all narrates about her, what she does and how she got the mercy of the Lord, like that. But he becomes very much bewildered. Are, being such an exalted personality, exalted devotee, how can she quarrel for such an insignificant cowden cake? Then, like finally, that some elderly people comes and says, "No, hey, stop quarreling. No, let us sort it out." Janabai says, "Okay, okay, if you want to sort it out, give my cowden cakes by myself." He says, "How can you distinguish your cowden cakes from her cowden cakes?" Then Janava says, you take my cotton cakes and put to the ear, and it will be chanting the Vittal's name. So they took the cotton cake and put towards the ear, and they suddenly started whatever the cotton cakes Janava made, that cotton cakes, from the cotton cakes, the holy name of Krishna was vibrating. So this is segregated and the issue was solved. So Kabirdas seeing this thing, he becomes wonderstruck. How can what an exalted position sees it? She is able to make the cowden cakes, means like a jada padartha, means he is able to make the inert matter chant the holy name of Krishna, and he fell at the feet of Janabai to take her blessings. So that is the purity of her service, her dedication. So Maharaj says one should actually do the services with utmost sincerity, humility, and honesty. So, we can chant, but our chanting is effective only when we have these ingredients of humility and sincerity and honesty. Like no, not even a tinge of pride should be there in whatever we do with respect to the serving devotion service, performing devotion service. Because Prabhuji says right, you should, bhakti is simple but not easy. Why? Because of these impediments of pride, arrogance, so like that, Janabai being a very simple-hearted devotee, all she cared is her service and just chanting holy name of Krishna. That's it. So, and finally, like now, when Namdev Baba, he takes uh, samadhi. Namdev Baba enters into samadhi. She goes to Vittal temple and merges into the deity of Vittal. So that's how she ends her like no that pastime. Okay, so means like what we can observe is not caring for any position, not caring for any recognition, only focusing on pleasing the devotees with humble service attitude. That will make us more closer to Krishna than anything else. So that's what I can think of. If anybody have any questions or comments, we can take. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. What are the books that one has? Are they different or how does one try to? One is serving on the altar as a pujari, and other is what? Serving devotees. Serving devotees means serving the same devotee on the altar or serving other devotees. Okay. So best way of serving devotees is the pujari on the altar should think that I am serving the Lord on behalf of my spiritual master, and the devotee who is doing backup should think that I am serving the pujari. So that is the best way. It is said that the more dasa, the more number of dasas you have in the middle, the more potent your service is. So not all the devotees you are serving may not be very exalted personalities. But if you are sincere, I am serving the devotee of Krishna, then you will make a lot of progress. So even pujari on the altar or somebody who is sweeping the floor or washing pots, there is no difference in services. Services are same. So all our services has to goal of our services should be able to please devotees. Anybody have any more questions or comments? Hare Krishna online. Anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, we'll end it here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Andhra Koti Vaishnava ki. Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Prabhu.